play, goals in 11 of the last 12. I know you coached up this power play. What has changed from the first half to the second half?
I think just continuity with the players. You bring a bunch of new guys in, and you're trying to replace Copperhead, which is a tough task to do, and then trying to replace Lovell, and just to get those guys on the same page and get them believing in each other, and I think they've done a great job.
What can you say about the talent level on this year's power play compared to years past?
Well, they're different, Obviously, Copperhead was an elite shooter, and Timmy did his thing with being able to skate in circles around everybody. So, but with the guys we have now, you have a Potter and a Lucius and a Beck can shoot it. So it's and then we got a good net front guy in Shimmick and Kirwan. It's just a completely different look. We kind of set up the same way, but the skill sets that they have are completely different than what we had last year. But I wouldn't compare that one is better than the other. It's just a different skill set for each of the guys.
With the two games, obviously two very emotional, fast-paced games, back and forth. How do you guys keep the guys on the bench, locked in and not get caught up in the moment?
Well, it's difficult because we they're human, and us as coaches get caught up in the moment as well. So we want to just have their energy high and their focus high. I think the biggest thing was when we tied it up 5-5 on Saturday is just be like, okay, take a breath here. Let's not do anything stupid and make a mistake. So it's just quick reminders like that on the bench. Also, I think Coach Powers did a great job Saturday when we were down 5-3 of just continuing with the message and continuing to tell the guys to play the right way, and we're going to win, and we ultimately did.
Coach, you've been here for a while now, and now you look at this team. Where does this team rank in terms of excitement for you going down the stretch and what they could do in the future?
Well, it's you don't want to poo-poo the past teams, but this is really exciting, and I think part of that is having the conference play. Normally we're kind of on a downhill trend right now, just trying to survive and not lose to a Lindenwood or something like that where it'll wreck our season. Now we're playing great teams every weekend, and nothing's going to change. Playing Duluth on the road and then coming back and playing Western. We just haven't had that in the past, and so to have this team with this much talent and continuing to play teams that are better and better each week is really exciting. So to motivate them for practice, even when Coach Powers wasn't here today, to see their excitement and see their commitment level because they know what's at stake and they know how exciting it is. It's been really good.
Sillinger's finding a stride now. What have you seen from him as of late to turn his kind of season around?
Well, I think that he's it's his fifth year of college, and I think he comes back and there's a bunch of new guys and new faces, and he's probably just trying to settle in a little bit the first half, but he was playing well. But now he's getting some goals, and when that happens, your confidence goes up and your excitement to come to the rink goes up. And I said when he got his first goal, I think I told Powers in the moment that I think he's going to end up with 10 or 12 goals, and it looks like he's trending that way. So he's a great player. We let him play. He's really improved on his defensive side of it and with his turnovers and things like that. But I think the way we've let him play and use his skill and his head for the last 3 years, it's really paying dividends for us now because he trusts us and we definitely trust him. So being that good of a player, he's just feeling it, and hopefully we can keep riding him.
What have you seen from Duluth so far when you look at what their season has and you guys faced them back in December? Well,
Duluth, in my opinion, is always a notoriously slow starting team for whatever reason. If you look at their national championship teams, they were just above 500, most of the season. They're well coached. I really like their head coach. They got a great staff and they work hard, and he's demanding on them, and playing in that place is no joke. So we know what we're going into. We know that they're good. We know they can win games. We know they can beat anybody. It's just a matter of convincing our guys of that, and I think they'll believe us when we tell them that. So we're excited to go, but we know it's going to be a challenge and it's going to be difficult.
You guys are 13th in the pairwise right now. What needs to kind of happen as a safety net if you don't get the automatic bid to ensure that you're kind of in a comfy for an at-large bid?
I think you just have to keep kind of winning at the rate that we are, and I don't know what our percentage would be, 64% or 66. I don't know what it is, but just what do we got? 6 games left.
Yep.
So you probably got to win 4 or 6, give or take. But with that being said, we're not looking at the safety net. We're kind of looking at, let's just keep winning. Let's win Friday, and if we win Friday, let's win Saturday, and then everything will take care of itself. So it's kind of a one game at a time, one series at a time kind of thing.
What are some things that you're taking from the previous series when you met with Duluth and taking it into now?
Well, we looked at some film for sure, and we're definitely going to make some adjustments on how they play. They play a really good style and a hard style to play against, and so we definitely worked on a few things out there today that we're going to change a little bit, and hopefully it pays off for us.
How do you think that hard style of play translates to the penalty kill? I know they struggled a bit on it, but what have you seen from them in that area?
From our penalty kill or theirs?
Their penalty kill.
Sometimes when you play as hard as they do, sometimes you get out of position because you're working so hard, and that's what they always say. You got to work hard, but you got to work smart. We're expecting it to be very difficult to go there and score on their penalty kill, no matter what the stats say. Like I said, they get better and better as the year goes by because they're so well coached, and Sandy does such a great job. So whatever we've seen the first time they were here, they're going to be improved on that, probably tenfold. So we're expecting to go in there and have a difficult time. The goal for our power play, I tell the guys, is we got to figure out a way to get a goal a game. If we can do that, we're usually successful. If we get 7 power plays, 1 is still successful. If we get 2, we still need 1. So 1 goal. So that's the goal, and we've been pretty consistent doing that.
When you talk, obviously playing teams again and being in conference, so with that this year, not that obviously you haven't played teams again before, but you mentioned with Washington, but the challenge in that, the kind of the advantage, disadvantage with playing the teams a second time.
I think it's an advantage, if you will, for both teams. You kind of know their personnel. They've got some good freshmen. They got the Plant brothers that are incredible players. So that's the first time we saw them, the last time we played. So we know what they're capable of. We know their speed. If you can remember just how many times they went wide, a few of their players, and beat our defensemen. So we're aware of that now. And our defensemen, when they go out, they're going to say, that guy's really fast. I better make sure I have a good gap. So with that being said, both teams, they're going to know what our game's like. So they're going to make adjustments off of that. They're going to understand, what our power play does or how we kill. So it's an advantage for both teams. It's a little bit of a chess match, but ultimately it comes down to who executes the best, and that's who's going to win.
Coach, it was a pretty brand new roster coming in with a lot of transfers, a lot of freshmen as well, but are there a couple of players, maybe 1 or 2, that have really exceeded your expectations so far this year?
Yeah, there's a lot of guys that have done really well. I think Bozer's done a great job on the back end. I can't wait to see that kid develop once he gets strong and spends a few summers here lifting weights. So he's done a great job. I think our transfers, like Shimmick, has done an unbelievable job. His leadership, the little intangibles that most of the fans or the media wouldn't see that he brings, has been incredible. Ryan Kirwan has been a breath of fresh air. Just very laid back and just so chill, if I could use that word, and just an incredible player. Beck's been the same thing. He's a much better player, much better all-around player than I thought he would be. No disrespect to him, but just what I can see the ceiling for him is a possible NHL player there. So there's guys I'm missing out, obviously, but everybody's really meshed well. And I think this team really loves each other and want to play for each other. So I'm looking forward to the next 6 weeks here.
Last few.
In the final stretch of the season, what are some things you guys are still trying to tighten up on and improve on?
Always defensive zone. You can never get that. You can never be perfect in the defensive zone. So we worked on it again today. We've been working on it consistently. I think Mike Corbett, our new coach, has done a great job with those guys with a few different drills. And then forechecking as well. I think that's probably been something we haven't been great at, and we continue to work on that again today. And so those 2 things, the D-zone coverage and the forecheck, I think if we can continually get better at those, then good things are going to happen.
Where do you stand on an injury standpoint with Dylan Jackson?
I'm not sure. We haven't talked with I stay out of that place. So we'll see how he goes. I know that he's progressing, but we just want him to be ready for the stretch drive. So, but I don't have a different answer for you.
Ryan, for you, facing off with Duluth for the second time, what did they bring to the table in the first series that you're now using here for the second time?
Yeah, I think they're a good team. They're physical, they're fast, and I think we just got to play our game and just bring it to them.
Smolen, you're kind of all over the ice against Denver. How did you feel your game was playing?
Really well. When you get kicked in the teeth, you want to respond, and we did Friday night, and we really wanted the second game, and I think we all earned it. So.
How do you guys carry that momentum into this weekend after showing that much resilience against Denver?
I think just reminding each other that that's a standard and that it can't slip. If we want to be a championship team, we got to hold that standard and be true to it the rest of the year.
Ryan, two highly intensive, emotional games, a lot of back and forth action. How do you guys as a locker room kind of decompress after a series like that?
Yeah, I think we learned from it, right? I mean, that's what hockey's about. You're having fun, and those were two really fun games. And I think we're just going to try and keep that energy that we brought the second night, especially the second and third period. I thought we brought it. We were great out there. So try and learn from that and just keep that up for the rest of the season.
Coach mentioned how imperative it was on the bench, how Lucas Sillinger kind of got really emotional and very into the game. Did you guys see that, and did that kind of push you guys to go to another level?
Yeah, for sure. Still's a great leader. He's somebody we all look up to, and he's such a special player, special talent. But he works so hard. He's at the rink until 1 p.m. every single day, right? So I mean, he's here all the time, and he just loves hockey. So we feed off of him, and it's great to see him get intense like that.
For both of you guys, I mean, being in conference play, I was asking Coach, you see these teams a second time, whether you lost to them or beat them, there's always that factor. But what do you feel like the advantage or disadvantage is when you're playing the teams a second time in the second series?
I'd say once you see a team once, you kind of know their play style and you can prepare for it mentally better. When you haven't seen a team, you haven't seen their team speed and what they're about. It's kind of hard to get ready for it. And you could watch all the film you want, but until you're in it, it doesn't give you that advantage. So I would just say that, and then I think the only thing we need to get better at that we didn't do very well in the first series was creating quality opportunities and getting to their goalie. So if we can do that and we can stick to our what we did against Denver this weekend, I think we'll be all right.
Kyle, going into the Denver series, the PK was really good. You guys had a little bit of a down weekend. How do you get back to where it was, and maybe what did Denver do well that you guys have to correct?
I mean, they're a good team. At the end of the day, we are down a guy. And they know how to score. We just gotta watch the tape, figure out what we did wrong, and just do what we do. Really, we kind of got away a little bit from our intensity a bit, and we kind of got all over the place and lost in a lot of the structure. I think we just got to get back to our mentality.
For either of you guys, how does a series like the one you just played kind of prepare yourselves for the kinds of teams you might see later in the postseason?
Yeah, Denver's a great team. They had basically everything, right? Speed, grit. So they bring a lot to the table, and I think it just helps us with our confidence. We can match up with them, and we play our game, and we're one of the best teams in the country, we think, and I think that we play like that, we're gonna beat anybody. So.
With the race for the conference kind of coming down to the wire here in the last couple weeks, how important is it for you guys to take each series game by game and not look too far ahead?
Yeah, it's kind of on a shift basis at this point. It's really tight, which means we can't take a shift off, can't take a game off. You can't let off the gas, otherwise they'll catch you. So it's just about keeping our foot to the pedal to the metal and just keep going.
Kyle, for you, I know you're really close with Benji. How was it, getting that news of the sad news that he'd be out, and how was that kind of change you personally?
Yeah, it was tough. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I took it a little hard at first, seeing him in the training room after it happened. I didn't really know what to think, and it's a good thing you have a team of 20 brothers to be able to pick you up and to help you play. I mean, you never want to see 1, your best friend, 2, your leader, and 3, a teammate go down like that when he cares so much about everyone and then the logo as well. So to see him go down, it was tough. I'm not going to lie, it was hard, but at the end of the day, I do have to pick it up and find a way to move on. And he's still vocal. He's still a leader. He's still helping us. He's still helping us in our PK video. He just led our PK video, actually, in fact, trying to teach us on how to get better. So having him around still is imperative. And it was tough, but we're going to get through it, and he's going to help us get to the finish line. So,
kind of building off that, Powers mentioned that he's going to be like a player coach for now. For both of you, how's his coaching job been?
It's been good. Today was impressive. It's pretty good. Yeah, he's a smart kid.
I get a lot of crap from him, so. But he's awesome. He cares so much. He just wants what's best for all of us, and the fact that he has such positive spirits, it brings a lot to the room. And he could be just a Debbie Downer and be all sad about it, which a lot of people in this world would, but not him. He's a leader in every way, and the way he carries himself, it lifts the team up. So.
Ryan, for you, Coach mentioned now with him being out, you're going to play a lot of more 5-on-6 and also more PK. How does that advance in responsibility affect your game?
Yeah, I think just stepping up to the role. He was imperative in those opportunities, but just like Smolen said, we got to step up now. So I'm ready for it, and ready to help the team win any way possible.
Can't wait to see him block a shot.
We'll need to get there.
You guys are 13th in the pairwise right now. Do you feel like that's really, I guess, indicative of where you stand as far as rankings in the country? Do you feel like you're the 13th best team?
No, I mean, pairwise is what it is. But like just how we feel about ourselves, no, we don't think we're 13th. And I bet you could ask the teams above us, teams below us, they think the same thing. So, we just got to keep improving game by game, and focus on that. It's in the back of your mind, but at the same time, you went out, you have a good record here down the stretch, you're going to be in a good spot.
What do you feel like an accurate ranking would be to where you stand in the country?
I can't put a number to it. I think our play speaks for itself, and anyone could put a number on it, but at the end of the day, we think we're one of the best teams in the country, if not one of the best, if not the best team in the country. Every time we step on the ice, and that's our attitude every game. And we believe we could beat anybody at any moment as long as we're doing the right things and we're playing to our standard. We think it's just a number at the end of the day. So we have to go out and prove it every night. So.
Anything else?
Kyle, on Saturday, what was the idea behind the goal celebration?
Yeah, what was up with that one?
I honestly don't know. It kind of went dark, but you got to make it look pretty, I guess, here in the greasy one. So.
That was a good question.
Yeah.